Love, light, and blessings. This is Shamanic White Priestess here, and I did a tarot collections video. And I didn't want to do all those videos in one day because my Oracle collection is bigger than my tarot collection. My tarot collection, I own 24 decks of tarot, and then my Oracle, I have roughly around 30. So I'm gonna try to do it in one video, and that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna go like I did in the other one. I put them in groups. It's easier for me to keep track of the decks and things of that nature. So I'm gonna start with my most used Oracle decks. When it comes to tarot, I'm a very traditional person. I like the Rider-Waite system. That is my favorite system. So I'm not very daring when it comes to my tarot collection. But with Oracle, I don't care what system it is. I buy all kinds of Oracle decks because it's different. Like tarot is what I read professionally with, like the only tool that I really use, other than the most important thing, my psychic abilities. And then Oracle is more for self-work for me. I do one tarot pull every day and an Oracle pull every day. So um, Oracle is more of a personal thing for me. Okay, so the most used deck that I have that I've never once put back, never put to sleep since I've gotten it, is the Madame Endorse Fortune cards. The card stock is very thin, but I've been having this deck for the longest of time, and the chipping is not bad. So um, these are the backs. Like I said, it's very thin card stock, but I like it's very shuffleable. Um, I read this deck intuitively. It has like a really little guidebook. But I read these intuitively, like a whole different way than what I guess the creator wanted it to do. But pretty much with Oracle, I'm like that anyways. So, but I love this deck. I use it almost every single day. So it is a deck that I pretty much, if I had to pick one Oracle deck, I don't know, like that case, what is the case scenario? If I had to pick one Oracle deck, uh, and I could only say one deck or something like that, it would easily be Madame Endorse Fortune cards. So, and it's always in the pouch because I've never put it back in the box since I've gotten it. So I'm gonna put it back in my altar because that's where it goes. I'm gonna put this card some box somewhere. The next deck that I use all the time that I don't really put back either, that is literally in my spirit room. This one's in my actual spirit room. The Endora one is in my um, work altar, like where I do readings and things like that, which is where I film my YouTube videos. And it's the Chakra Insight Oracle deck and great guidebook. These are the two creators of. Uh, I use this deck all the time. Like I've never put it back. I only use it for myself. I don't use it for clients or anything of that nature. Um, it's a wonderful deck. See, you can tell it's upside down because I use it so much. It has all 7. Oh my, this is like upside down. It has all 7 chakras. Um, and you could know what chakra it is by the borders. I use this for self-healing, so for meditation. This is my for meditation. I create a crystal grid that has to do with chakra healing for myself. And that's part of my is in my spirit room too, because I meditate in my spirit room, do workings there. Everything spiritual happens in there, other than doing readings in my workspace. And I create a crystal grid, so every 2 to 3 weeks, I ask my guides what 7 focal point of this in the 7 chakras, of my spirit points needs the most work. I'll create a grid according to that, usually a 8 or 9 crystal grid. And it's mainly when I go to meditate and things, that's the chakra I'm going to work for a couple of weeks with meditation and affirmations and all that good stuff. So this is the deck that I use for that, and I usually have like a 1 card in that self-healing altar that I have for myself, and it helps me to focus when I'm meditating, looking at the chakra and what it needs. So if it's a chakra that says I need emotional balance, I'll create a crystal grid that has to do with the sacral chakra and emotional balance. So that's what I do with that. Another deck that I always use all the time is the Energy Oracle cards by Sandra and Taylor. So these are my top, I think top 6, top 8. Yeah, top 8. I love this one. I can actually do a full-on reading with this deck. So I love it. I love oracle decks that are not always so positive. This one has both positive and not so positive messages. This is my second copy because the first copy I literally wore out so badly that I had to pretty much get rid of it. So I love this one. It's the Energy Oracle cards. The next one I'm going to show you is Ask Your Guides, and by Sonia Choquette. This is my first deck, Oracle deck, that I used after I kind of outgrew Doreen Virtual's deck, which was the first deck that I used to use when I first started working with Oracle. And her Angel Tarot was the first tarot deck that I ever got. But once I started evolving and kind of straying away from that, I started using more like negative and positive. This one is very blunt. Not all the messages are going to be positive. I found that some people cannot take the messages of the cards. You can do a full-on reading with this one too. Like if you're wanting to do like a very healing, very high vibrational, because literally is Ask Your Spirit Guides. This deck is amazing, and all the cards are not positive. It just happens to be that when I was showing them, all the positive cards were showing, but it's a great deck. I used it a lot, had it for years. Very good card stock because I still have the same copy. I'm still on the first copy. Next one I'm going to show you guys is, and I'm currently working with this one as we speak. That's why it's in my altar. The Wisdom of the Oracle. Wisdom of Avalon Oracle cards. And this is by Colin Baron Reed. I don't like any of her tarot decks. I don't like her goddess deck for certain reasons, but I love her older stuff. So I do love this deck. I feel like it's both, it has a good balance of both positive and negative cards and things like that. Love the backs of the card. Love the gilding. It's a great deck. I love using it. It's I have 6 decks that I always have on rotation, and I change them out periodically. This is the one I've been working with a lot in the past year, so I always want to reach out for that one, but I have to give other decks chances. The next one is Denise Lynn's Native Spirit Oracle. Love this. I do have Native in part Taino and Apache in my family, so, and I feel like it's very ancestral. I love that it doesn't have a lot of people in it. It just makes me feel connected to the land. I like using this one for meditations and things like that. And the messages on them are on point. Like these are like my high spiritual, vibrational decks. And this is the back of it. So I love this one. I believe the woman that created the deck is part of the Cherokee Nation. So she is Native herself. So I love that. Wisdom of the Hidden Realms by Colette Baron Reed is another one. I love this one too. I love that she gives meanings, reverse meanings, upright meanings. So what's working with you, what's working against you. I get very powerful readings with this deck as well. It's a great deck. It's a great deck. Despite the controversy with her lately, I'm not going to get rid of my old decks that I already bought that she created. So but it doesn't mean I have to buy anything that she may need. You know what I mean? But I'm gonna keep the stuff that I have, so because I like it, I connect with it. So and then the next one is the Enchanted Map, and I love this one as well. This deck I work with a lot as well. When I first got it, I couldn't connect with it, and then after a while, I just started connecting with it. I love the borders. Looks very ancient. It's a beautiful deck. Sorry for the glare. And look at that. The guidebook is excellent. These are the backs of the cards. It's a great deck. So you can do full-on readings with the decks that I showed you here, which is why they're my favorite, with the exception of the Chakra and the Native Spirit deck, which is more like spiritual. But you can still do full-on readings with them anyways. So yeah, so these are my top 8. Then I'm going to get the next group like I did yesterday, and we're going to continue with this video. Okay, so the next group of decks are decks that I used a lot last year, but have since put them away to give chance to the top 8 that I showed you, with the exception of the Mandora, with the Madame Mandora and the Chakra, and I've been using since I got them. The other 6 are like, they're in my rotation this year. These were really heavily used 2018. Earth Magic. The book is what made me love this deck and buy this deck. I love Stephen D. Farmer's book, Earth Magic. So, yeah. I love the way he gives respect to the title of shaman. And so he says shamanic or shamanistic. I love that. So anyways, love this deck. Understood it better once I got his book, the Earth Magic book. Did numerous exercises on it. The book really resonated with me and inspired me to get into reading spiritual books, because before that, I didn't even know spiritual books existed, because the stuff that I know is stuff that my mom taught me and she learned from her mother and so on and so forth. So my craft is pretty much orally passed down. But he got me into just kind of researching other spiritual paths and things. So love this deck. Always get good readings with it. Wisdom of the Oracle. I love this one. This one came damaged, but I loved it so much that I didn't want to like return it back to Amazon, because there's only like a few damaged cards or whatever. I dealt with the imperfections of that. I just love the deck so much I didn't want to give it back and wait till like they send me a new one out and da 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 da. I was like, not that serious. Love this deck. I used to use it when I worked on the Psychic Hotline for like the Psychic Hotline that I worked in helped us to engage with potential clients before they would take you to a reading, and I will pull these out to kind of draw people in and then use tarot to read them and stuff like that, with like one card message. And my clients responded really well to this one, and it's an intuitive hit. So I love this deck. Just trying to give other decks a chance. Stephen D. Farmer's Power Animal Oracle deck I love as well. Great guidebook. I have his book with the Animal Totem book. I highly recommend his book for that, especially because I dream a lot with animals and things like that. And I found his interpretations of them to be very accurate. So, and ooh, I'm getting a ringing in my ear. Spirit likes what I just said. Love, 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 love. I got this deck because I started dreaming a lot about animals and things like that. So I wanted to figure out why. Like, what were the messages the ancestors were trying to tell me? And it helped me to evolve to the point where I don't even need to use the deck or the book, because I kind of, you know what I mean? So, but you all have to start from somewhere. The Messenger Oracle by Ravine Phelan. I love this one so much that it inspired me to get Dreams of Gaia. I love her art style. I love the very simple meanings, gets to the point. Some Oracle decks take way too long, for the creators to get to the point of what the card's supposed to mean. And then they start talking about other things. Like it's like 5 pages for like one card, and she just gets to the point. And I love that. And these are the backs. And this is Messengers, the Messengers Oracle. So it's a great deck. The Secret Language of Color by Ina Segal. Great guidebook. Before I had my chakra deck, I used to use this deck a lot for chakra work and color therapy and meditations and things like that, because I love to meditate. You can get lost. Like I can see myself in this water. Like I could feel my third eye. So I love this deck. And these are the backs. And don't use it as much now that I'm always working with the chakra one. I mostly use this one in the summer. It just feels summery to me. Because I guess the color and everything. Fairy, The Wild Wisdom of the Fairy Oracle by Lucy Cavendish. Love this deck. Love the art style. It is the most, I don't have the ones with the original backings, which I'm fine with. I love this deck and used it a lot last 2018, beginning of 2019. I had to put it away so I can give chance to the other Oracle decks, but it is just beautiful and gorgeous. One of my subscribers loved me showing this deck so much they actually bought it. She actually bought it and everything. It's a great deck. This one, I get such intuitive hits with this one too. Powerful messages. Oracle of the Shape Shifters. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. I just love Oracle decks for myself, to read myself with them. I love them. So these look like Bratz dolls. I love them. My youngest daughter will call it the baby doll, and I would have to look for missing cards, and I would have to hide this deck when she was younger, because she would literally, if I dropped a card on the floor or something like that, she would grab them and take them for herself and things of that nature. So she really, I don't use the guidebook. I love Lucy Cavendish, but I read her decks more intuitively. I feel like it's a lot of, no offense, like a lot of over explanation a little bit, and so I read these just purely intuitive. I don't really use the guidebooks with her stuff. Okay, so then I'm gonna get to the next group. So these are like very highly used cards between the beginning of 2019 and 2018. Then I'm gonna get to my next group of cards. These next group of decks, which there's 6 of these, are, I don't use them as much as the first 2 groups that I showed you. But when I need a very high vibrational and spiritual message, not predictive, not just more either nurturing, or like, you know, when you just need it, like something that's the spiritual message, nothing to do with like the everyday. I love the Shamanic Healing Oracle cards by Michelle A. Montuzas. I cannot pronounce the last name. I apologize. They're a little bit too glossy for my taste, but I love, it looks like chalk drawing. I love that she's kept it very simple. I find this beautiful to meditate to. I always love the messages that I get from this deck. It's very good for self-improvement and working on oneself. I find for myself, you know, everybody connects to decks differently, but I want to live in the house. And the end of that one, I want to go home. So I love it. Very good deck. The Wicca deck is another one that I love, and no, I'm not Wiccan. Sally Morningstar. I bought it when I was practicing Wicca, and I still use it now. Even though I don't practice Wicca anymore. I love this deck. I get really beautiful messages from it, and I don't know. It's may not be my art style, but something about it just really makes me pulsate with my third eye. And when I'm in just in that mood to really go deep into something on a spiritual level, these are the decks that I pull. The Soul's Journey. Love this one. James Van Praagh. I think that's how you say his name. This is a mandala style deck. These are the backs. And I love it. I may not use it as much as the other decks, but I love it when I'm in that mood to just really go deep. And this is a positive deck. This is my affirmation deck. I know that I cannot change the past. You know, it's no matter what the message is, like regret or something, if it seems like a negative message, there's always something positive. Worry. I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. See, so like sometimes you just need an uplifting message, and I find this one for that. You know, they call that what? The Huggy decks. Definitely love this deck. This one's another one that's very nurturing. Mother Mary Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. And I love this one because I love the diversity of Mary in this deck. She's all different colors. I love the backs of this. It resonates with me because in the Caribbean, in a lot of Afro-Caribbean traditional practices, we synchronize, like in voodoo and in Santeria, for example. I'm going to talk about the stuff that I practice. We do synchronize many different aspects of Mary into our practice. She'll either represent a Loa or Orisha, and so that resonates with me. That she has brown skin, because it is hard to find those. Look at that. See, all different hues. And then Our Lady of Charity, which is Cara de Cobre in Santeria. Some people will use her to represent Oshun. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, I love it. This deck I've done. I don't use the guidebook either. I read this one intuitively. And I just love it. Very nurturing, very loving messages. Heal Yourself reading cards. I love this one too because it has a good mixture of negative and positive cards. The backs I adore. The cards are beautiful. Okay, just beautiful. There is some diversity in here. I just don't happen to be pulling anything with diversity in it. But there is diversity in this deck, which I do appreciate. Like, there is a woman of color there, and there's like a tribe card. I mean, it's not a lot, but they're at least did put some people. Okay, there you go. And tribe. So they do have people of color in here. Not a lot, but they do. So I appreciate that. And I just like the deck itself. It's a wonderful deck. It's beautiful. The meanings in the book are excellent. This one I don't use all the time, but when I'm feeling just to very high vibrational or something like that, and I'm drawn to when I'm drawn to use it, I get really powerful messages as well. And this deck includes many indigenous tribes and traditions. A lot of the names I cannot pronounce, so I just love it. Like, in at least the tribes that I practice, their traditions, my traditions too, there are these beings that don't have any name. They're like before our time, and some of them look like these guides that I dreamed of that don't have a name. This looks like that dreamy time world. So it feels very spirit guide to me. I don't need the decks to speak to the spirit guides, but I still like it because like the spirits wanted me to get it. And so this is are dedicated to my spirit guides, and sometimes they want me to use the deck, so I do. You know, you gotta do what the spirits want you to do. I got a copy from my daughter that she has in her altar, and she dedicated to a spirit that pretty much just wants it. She doesn't really use it, but sometimes that happens. So, but those are the ones that I don't always use all the time, but I have a deep connection, cannot, do not want to part with them, and they all have like a big impact on my spiritual practice. So the next group of cards are cards that I used to use a lot. They're my originals when I first got into reading oracle cards, but I don't use them anymore. But I still want them in my collection because they're nostalgic for me, and that would be messages from your angels. So these have been since retired now. I feel like I pretty much have gotten everything I need to get out of them in the moment, and I think I'm gonna permanently retire them. But I do love the decks. Okay, just we all evolve and we all do our thing, and it has nothing to do with our personal life. It's just you know this one I used to use the most. Like, oh my goodness. Archangel Oracle cards. Like, you can see this is my first copy. I bought a backup copy that I don't even use. It's still in the wrapper, but I just wanted to have it as a backup copy because I know that she doesn't want her cards printed anymore. So I don't know if one day she'll do a lawsuit or something, and then they won't be able to reprint any of her cards, and they'll become hard to get. So I just wanted to have it for collection purposes and things like that. The next cards are the Healing with the Angels. I love this one. It's very retro looking. I love that it has just the keywords. I have since retired this one as well. You just, you still love something, but you kind of doesn't really call to you anymore kind of things, but I still want them in my collection. And this one I used a lot, like to the point where this is my second copy, and this is the Doreen Virtual Angel Therapy. This was a deck that I always had constantly in my altar, and I've been using it less and less, so I decided to retire it, but I think is one of her most, if not the most beautiful oracle deck she has ever created. And these are the backs. I love this. I love this deck. This one's an honorable mention because I only use it once a year, but it's like I love it, and it's the Halloween Oracle. I only use it once a year on Halloween, the whole month of October for one card pulls. I love this deck. I get really good readings with it, but it's a special deck that I only like to pull out once a year. It's kind of like my mom used to have bath soaps when I was younger, and it was like they weren't ever really used. They were more decorative bath soaps. They were like in the shape of seashells, or she would have guest towels that only guests could use, but we had real guests and they never kind of used it. So if you use the guest towels, you're really special kind of thing. But I love the Halloween Oracle deck, and I think a lot of people love it. So okay, so the last group of, sorry if the camera's shaking. I have like this hair that's bothering me. This is the Keepers of the Light. And this group is my least used. Some I couldn't connect with. This one, I had a hard time connecting with it. Used it, gave it a chance, but I just don't like the guidebook. I'm not really a New Age person. Nothing against New Age, but I'm not really into like the language in the deck. See, it's upside down. So I kind of bought it for the people cards. I would use them in my altar, more of that kind of thing, when I was working with certain entities that I don't work with anymore. But I didn't have their statues or their prayer cards or something. I would use it for that. So I was using this more as decorative. But I don't even use it in that sense either. I might. Oh goodness, I can't even put it in here. I would love to trade this out for something else because I don't see myself using it either. I just don't connect with it. This deck I don't either because it has multiple artists. The Oracle of the Dragon Fae. I don't really like this one either. It's not even in order because kind of used it and stopped using it and just kind of put it back in the box. Like I just didn't connect with it. I don't like the art style. Um, it has mixed artists, and there's like a few of the artwork that I do like, and most of it I just really don't. Some of the artwork is reused from other decks. I don't like that. So like not really original art. Like these are the backs. So didn't really like this deck. Would love to trade this one out too. Chakra Wisdom Oracle cards. I don't like this one either. I found it, no offense to the creator, but I find the wording in this kind of childish, and I like the backs of them. I like the concept of it, but it doesn't resonate with me, the way they describe what the card messages are. So I would like to find this deck a new home as well, because it's literally just sitting there on my altar, not being used, and it's kind of sad. So like they're brand new, like yeah. So another deck. This is my least favorite deck of all, and it is the Oracle of the Mermaids. And it's because I can't get past, and they're not in order either, one of her cards. I love the concept of mermaids. There's like really no diversity in here other than one card, which is, you know, that's fine. But this card, she made Yemaya a white person, and Yemaya is a Nigerian spirit, an ancestral spirit. She's an Orisha who is said to have left her homeland in order to console her children that were being passed into the Middle Passage, you know, the transatlantic slave trade. And that when the Igbo, people like the Igbo tribes, and many of the ancestors, many of my ancestors, many of our ancestors, anybody who's from the African diaspora, went into the ocean because they would kill themselves and commit suicide and jump off the boats and things because they didn't want to be slaves. There was more than one ship that actually had uprising and things like that. It was said that she would extend her hands from the ocean where she lives and pretty much receive her children. So to make her a Europeanized woman, when this deck lacks no diversity, and she already had Aphrodite in there, I find it to be disrespectful. So I haven't used the deck since the first day that I got it, because I never seen a complete walkthrough of this, and I don't resonate with it at all. So I just have it there because I have it there, but I keep, you know, I don't know what to do with the deck, to be honest. But much love, light, and blessings, and thank you so much for watching this video. So that is my Oracle card collection. I have 30 Oracle decks and 24 tarot decks. So I have a total of 54 decks altogether. So yeah. I have a collection. It may not be as big as a lot of people, but all the Oracle decks I have, I use, with the exception of the Mermaid and this one. And yeah, these four are the only ones I don't use. So I kind of want to get rid of them. I just don't know what to do with them. I hate throwing stuff away. So much love, light, and blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video. And until the next video, guys, bye.